Good day. Our grammar lesson for this week is adjectives that compare. As you see on the screen, I have big, bigger, and biggest. In this picture, I compare each apple to another apple. So, the first apple on the left is smaller than the one on the right, and the one in the middle is smaller than the one on the right. So the biggest apple of all is the first apple on my right hand side. If I compare between the middle one and the one on the left, I say the middle apple is bigger than the apple on the left side. Let's move on. How do we compare? We add ER to an adjective to compare two persons, places, animals, or things. The bird has longer legs than the frog. In here, I'm comparing between two animals, the frog and the bird. So I add ER to the adjective long. I call this adjective comparative adjective. We add EST to an adjective to compare three or more persons, places, animals, or things. I have here three animals, a frog, a bird, and a giraffe. The giraffe has the longest legs of the three animals. If you notice, longest, I added EST to the word long to make it superlative. What does that mean? It means I am comparing among three or more animals, peoples, places, or things. Therefore, I add EST to the adjective. Compare. This is a big balloon. The blue balloon is bigger than the red balloon. The green balloon is the biggest of the three balloons. If you noticed here, I have the word than. The word than helps me to figure out that I am comparing between two words or between two objects. Therefore, I add ER to the adjective to show the comparison. In sentence number 3, I have the word of. The three balloons. In here, I know that here I am comparing among more than two objects. Therefore, I add EST to show the comparison. Let's move on to the next slide. Compare. The pigeon is a small bird. The blue jay is smaller than. Again, I need to pay attention to the word than. Once I see this word, I know that I should add ER to the adjective. The hummingbird is the smallest of the three birds. I add EST to small because here I'm comparing among more than two objects or animals. Let's start this practice. Circle the adjectives that compare two nouns. Underline the adjectives that compare three or more nouns. Number 1, I am taller than my sister. Taller tells me the size. ICER at the end of the word, which means I'm comparing between two objects or two nouns. The directions tells me circle, so I have to circle my adjective. Number 2, I want to have the biggest car. Biggest is an adjective that compares the 3 or more, so I need to underline my adjective. A blue whale is heavier than 25 elephants. Heavier than, I have to circle because it compares between two nouns. Number 4, our dog is the friendliest dog in the world. In here, I'm comparing among 3 or more. Therefore, I underline the adjective. Number 5, the handwriting book is thinner than the math book. Thinner is an adjective that compares between two objects. Number 6, bicycles are slower than cars. Slower than compares between two objects. Let's move on. In here, circle the adjectives that compare two nouns. Underline the adjectives that compare 3 or more. She is the nicest person I know. Nicest compares between or among 3 or more nouns. I think English is the easiest language of all. Also, easiest is an adjective that compares among 3 or more nouns. Number 3, walking is healthier than riding a car. Healthier is an adjective that compares between two nouns. Number 4, is your brother taller than you? Taller has ER, which means it compares between two nouns. Number 5, he is the smartest boy in the class. Smartest has EST, which means it compares among 3 or more nouns. Number 6, today is the best day of the year. Remember, best is a special adjective that compares among more than two. Keep in your mind that I have good, better. When I compare between two nouns, I use better. And if I want to compare among more than two, I say the best. Also, I say bad, worse, and worst. So never say badder or the baddest, okay?